All right, guys, so Medieval 3 Total War has just been announced. If you missed it, it's happening. Creative Assembly are developing it. It is in pre-production, which means probably won't be coming out until 2027, I would say. Aside from that, we also know the next Total War title is going to be announced on the 11th of December. So yeah, Medieval 3 is happening, and I called it, honestly. I knew they were going to do this. It was either going to be Medieval 3 or Empire 2. It had to be one of the two, and Medieval 3 was the more popular option by miles for a lot of people that I've been talking to. I think everybody wanted Medieval 3 a lot more than Empire 2. I think Empire 2 was more deserved, but yeah, we're getting a Medieval 3, so great. This is the Hail Mary that Creative Assembly needed. I think we just need to say that out loud. The company hasn't been doing well for the last few years. Pharaoh was a total flop. Troy, I think, really was just a great deal with Epic Games, and let's just make it, ship it out. And so Historical Total Wars had it pretty bad, I think, for the last few years. Three Kingdoms was really the best of the latest games, and that was just canceled out of the blue. So yeah, I think that they really needed something to recoup, to bring people back into the franchise, to give people a bit more hope and positivity and drive and energy, and that was 100% going to be Medieval 3. We didn't really get any sort of information or any kind of detail about what Medieval 3 is going to be like. We know that it's going to be set somewhere between the 11th and the 15th centuries. There's going to be lots of Holy Roman Empire stuff and Saladin and the Ottomans and all that jazz. So, you know, it's going to be quite a large medieval Europe at least. But we don't know anything about the campaign map or what the battles or anything. We really don't know anything. And anything that they did say is highly subject to change. To announce it this early in a game's development cycle, yeah, I don't think any of it could, you know, be true 6 months from now. So yeah, we just don't know what it's going to be like, but we know that Medieval 3 is in development. So great. Now, there are two big implications that I want to talk about here. The first is, of course, that we're not getting Empire 2. Yes, we're getting Medieval 3. And, you know, like I said, we don't have a lot of information about that, but something we definitely know is that we are not getting Empire 2. So for all you gunpowder fans and, you know, fans of Napoleon Empire, you want a Victoria Total War or like a Pike and Shot era Total War, maybe, we're just not getting it, at least for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you know? So I think there's a bit of disappointment there as well. You know, Medieval 3 is definitely a great choice, a great setting to do it in. It's been asked about for a long time, but it just, you know, it just means that we're not getting Empire 2, which is, you know, going to be disappointing for a lot of people as well. So I just want to acknowledge that. And the other thing that I want to acknowledge is all the modders who are doing medieval mods across historical Total War games right now must be looking at this announcement and thinking, oh boy, what am I going to do? Because, you know, as soon as Medieval 3 comes out, if it's a good game, a lot of players are not going to be playing their mods anymore. So mods like MK1212, if and this is all on if Medieval 3 is good, right? Mods like MK1212, like 1100 AD, like the Anno Domini team, you know, a lot of these medieval mods are just not really gonna have a player base anymore. So many people are just gonna move over to Medieval 3. They may move over to Medieval 3 as well, which is good, but it's just worth saying that Medieval 3, the dream of Medieval 3, has really been kept alive by modders, by the mods, you know, and without them, Historical Total War, I think, would have ended a long time ago. So I just want to do this bit in the video that is a huge, I think, monumental thanks and gratitude to these amazing mods. MK1212, 1100 AD, Anno Domini, you know, low stainless steel, like all of these amazing medieval mods. We got to just give them a little bit of a bow, right? And thanks to these people, because it's really thanks to them that Medieval 3 has been kept alive for so long. And I think that they have a huge part to play in CA, kind of weighing up all their options and thinking, okay, Medieval 3 is what we're making. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that, you know, every single video I've made over the last 2, I think maybe 3 years about what a new historical Total War needs has always had something to do with a new engine. And in today's showcase, they actually said they're working on a new engine. There is a warcore engine in development right now, which is going to take over from Warscape. It has apparently better AI functionality, which is a huge bonus for me. I think that, the engine limitations, the messiness of the code, and how the game works under the hood has a huge implication on how the AI actually behaves. I personally think that's probably why AI has been such a huge issue throughout Total War for the last, how many years. So the fact that they're doing this, they're cleaning it up, they're making it look a lot better visually as well. There's a lot more mechanical design opportunities with this as well, especially with the whole like destructible environments and all of that. I think that's really cool, really interesting. I'm very excited about this part. There's not a lot that I can be excited about for Medieval 3. Great, it's in development. I haven't seen anything about the gameplay, so I can't really comment on what it's going to be like. But the fact that they're putting a lot of resource into making a new engine possible for the future of Total War tells me that there's a bit more commitment to making the games better. And listening to what the community has been saying for the last few years, you need a new engine. It's not working. It's breaking here, there, and everywhere. So the fact that they're doing it, I think, is great. Now, I do have a prediction, though. I think that this new warcore engine is going to be built on top of Three Kingdoms. That's my guess. I think that Three Kingdoms, from a design, mechanical, gameplay perspective, is probably the closest kind of thing we have to what a Medieval 3 could be like. The retinue system, there's a lot of political intrigue and great, interesting diplomacy that works in that game. And yeah, essentially, I would say that if I was Creative Assembly, I don't want to create a new engine completely from scratch. I probably want to iterate on an engine that worked and would work really well in a Medieval 3 setting, right? So that, to me, that is Three Kingdoms. Absolutely. It's got to be Three Kingdoms. So yeah, I would expect a Three Kingdoms 2.0 type of engine in warcore for Medieval 3. I think it makes complete sense from a design, mechanical, and an AI perspective as well. Three Kingdoms AI is actually quite impressive when you compare it to other games. And finally, of course, if Medieval 3 is, not a great game, it's got to be more moddable. One of the biggest reasons why Historical Total War is even still alive today is because of mods. The thousands and thousands of mods across Medieval 2, Shogun 2, Empire, Rome 2, all of these mods have really brought people back into play these games again, I think, anyway. So having modding capabilities for Medieval 3 that are truly and fully unlocked for modders to get in there and fix the inevitable issues that will be in Medieval 3. This is Creative Assembly we're talking about. And obviously to not just fix them, but create new settings, new time periods, new factions, new scenarios, new battle maps. Everything is just going to be what gives Medieval 3 its longevity. Now, the last thing I want to say on this video, guys, is I honestly thought this was going to happen 2 years ago. If you've been around watching the channel for that long or longer, you'll remember that I made a series of videos about how the next Historical Total War can either be really, really good or really, really bad. And unfortunately, for the last 2 years, we've been living that bad timeline where Total War Pharaoh came out. It was very obviously a kind of Warhammer reskin, continuation of Troy, just basically trying to milk the state of Total War back then, which totally fit within what Creative Assembly was all about. But now we've been through the mud and we're getting what we should have gotten back then, is what I'm trying to say essentially. This was always, I think, going to be the next natural step for the franchise. Going back to your roots a little bit, doing that nostalgia factor, going back into a game like Medieval 3 or Empire 2, doing a new iteration of the engine as well, just doing all of that to hype back up Total War as a franchise, recoup the losses from everything that's gone wrong over the last few years, and propel the franchise forward into a new, hopefully better direction. So yeah, that's essentially it for today, guys. I would say overall, the showcase was kind of very self-glorifying in a weird way. I felt, so much of it was weirdly fake and scripted in classic CA style. I thought the announcements were interesting, but beyond the announcements, we know very, very little about the content of what they're talking about, what Medieval 3 is actually going to be like, what the engine is going to be like, how it's going to impact future games. Like, we really don't know anything, and anything that they did say, A, we have to take with a bit of a grain of salt because it's CA. B, it's so early days. This is pre-production of Medieval 3. For all we know, this could come out in 2030. We have no idea. So I'm like cautiously optimistic that this is the direction they're finally going in. They should have gone down this route 2 years ago, to be completely honest. And I'm looking forward to seeing more about what is Medieval 3, what is it about, layout, the setting, the gameplay, all of that. I'm excited. I'm excited about the engine. I'd like to learn more. I'll be making lots more videos about all of this on the channel, of course, as well. So if you enjoyed what you saw here today, what I talked about, what I talked about on this video today, then absolutely give it a like and subscribe and all that jazz. I'll be making lots more videos about more news as they come out. So yeah, that's essentially it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.